What in the name of Liefeld is that?
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Isis, All That Glitters. The goddess next door takes on a bikini-clad bank robber in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, All That Glitters in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
A couple of days ago, Marvel announced its latest Avengers comic book event, World War She-Hulk. And they presented a promotional image talking about how the Winter Hulk is coming. And I don't know where to start with this design. I mean, it just is one of the most absurd things I have ever seen in my life. Here you have this masculine looking woman wearing what looks like to be a really bad blonde hair weave, armor epaulets, and a leg belt. I don't know where to start with this because it looks like something out of a Rob Liefeld reject pile back when he was doing his X-Force run back in 1989. I mean, this character looks like something that came from Rob Liefeld's, the stuff he just sketched up and threw in the trash. But here we have Marvel Comics taking what is just an absolutely absurd design and then putting it up and talking about this character is going to be the focal point of its latest Avengers event. Now, this whole image is embarrassing on multiple levels, and the first level I would say is saying that you have this masculine looking female as an image representing your brand. I mean, this image is not something that I would think anybody would find appealing as related to an event, but your social justice warriors, in their efforts to try to stop the male gaze, show us how mind-bogglingly insane they truly are. Because as this woman is sitting here with this big, huge, masculine build, what really makes it absolutely absurd is that she's got this flowing blonde hair looking like a hood rat with a hair weave. I mean, here we have this SpongeBob Arnold Schwarzenegger looking type female with a big weave, and I guess this is supposed to be some kind of glamorous in the eyes of the designer, but I don't know. This looks absolutely ridiculous. And on top of it, if this is a Hulk, she's supposed to be invulnerable, but she's got armored epaulets on her shoulders. So how does that design flow into the story of the character? That's a critical question I want to ask. And I also want to ask, what is the purpose of the leg belt? I mean, seriously, why is this character have a leg belt on when you're supposed to be a Hulk, and a Hulk is all about muscle and power, but I guess she wanted to have a little bit of style, so she put on a leg belt so she could look stylish. I mean, all of this right here, it just makes absolutely no sense from a design standpoint. And then on top of it, the whole design, when you look at the colors and the layout of the character, it just is very uninspired. I mean, again, it's like taking what Rob Liefeld would sketch up as he was doing a Youngblood or an X-Force, and this is the stuff he probably looked at and said, hey man, I don't know, this is kind of stupid, and he threw it away. But here we have Marvel making this the core focus of their brand, and they want us to believe that this Winter Hulk is somebody we should care about. But it's hard to care about a character when a company like Marvel Comics, which is a subsidiary of Disney, goes out here and presents one of the worst designs I have ever seen in my life. But this is supposed to be the lead off for their event. But this is par for the course with your what people call SJW Marvel. They're so caught up in their politics that they're not really thinking about their business. And when you're in business, like I am at SJS Direct, you want to think about the impression you're going to leave on readers, because you only get one chance to make a first impression on a reader. And when you look at this whole Winter Hulk image, it doesn't leave an impression on you that makes you say, I want to go out here and pick up this story. I mean, the only people who will go out here and pick it up are the comic book YouTubers who are going to practically take this whole comic to the barbecue and roast it up super crispy. I mean, if I was to go out here and buy this comic, I would be buying myself a chef hat on eBay to go do a roast on it, because this image, I mean, this is some Ed Wood level awful design right here. And it's a shame that a multi-billion-dollar company like Disney goes out here and allows their intellectual property to be destroyed like this by this hack Jason Aaron, who just has practically given us one of the worst Avengers runs I have ever read in my life. I mean, he has practically given us concepts so absurd, they're practically mind-bogglingly stupid. And the artwork here, I don't know what this is. This artist, I know they could probably do better on anything else, but this image right here, this is going to cement their career the same way Rob Liefeld's Captain America was infamously, out there, that picture of Captain America with that chest stuck out. I mean, this is on that level terrible, because it just is absolutely horrifyingly bad. I mean, and I know what the SJWs are thinking. Oh, we'll make this to avoid the male gaze, but all you can do is stop and stare at how terrible this image is, because from a publisher's standpoint, I can tell you that this is the kind of image that will practically sink a story before it starts, because it leaves such a terrible first impression on the reader, and it does not really make you care to read it, because this is just, again, so terrible. I mean, armored epaulets and a leg belt on a gamma-powered character. I mean, these two things are diametrically opposed to each other, but somebody at Marvel, they just thought this was a good idea. And it shows, again, how sad editorial is over at Marvel, because any seasoned editor would have pulled that creator's chain and let them know this design is absolutely awful, and they would not have let this go to market. Unfortunately, when you have a whole group of extremely inexperienced social justice warriors working at a company, they go along with the most absolutely absurd ideas, again, because it's about politics and it's about sending a message about how woke they are and how they want to make it where everybody is out here and body image is considered to be acceptable. But in the comic book world, shapely, sexy women are what sell comics, and this is not an image that is going to sell many comics, except to those YouTubers out here who, again, put on a chef hat and take horrible books and horrible images like this to the barbecue for a roasting. And I can easily see guys like your boy Zach going out here buying this book and ripping it, or Yellow Flash going out here and ripping it, because this image right here, I don't know, again, where to start with this, but if somebody came to me with something like this at SJS Direct, they would be finished with me before I even started. This is I'm going to pass on you, because your stuff is just not up to standard, and this is not going to, again, be something that I can go out here and sell. It's just something that many of these people, they think that by making absurd images like this, they get attention from YouTubers and people on websites, and they don't really understand that comic publishing is a sales business, and images like this do not give most people an incentive to go out here and buy comics. I mean, this is not the image of a book that would go out here and sell 200,000 copies. I mean, Winter Hulk may be coming, but most people will be going some other place with their money. I mean, manga has nothing to be afraid of with images like this. It's images like this that have the American Western comic book industry falling and sinking like the Titanic, because you have people in charge at these comic book companies who really don't understand their customer, don't understand their product, and don't understand how to sell their product to an audience. So they come out here with these kind of concepts to try to get the attention of these audiences of weirdos out here who don't usually buy comics. And those people, they don't even care about comic books or superheroes, because when I look at an image like this, again, it reminds me of the worst of Liefeld And it also reminds me of a hood rat on the block with her bad weave and her big SpongeBob looking body. I mean, this is how bad this image is. I mean, it just brings up the worst in things, and you don't want to do that in a comic, because a comic book is supposed to be about an escape, and this book takes us to a place we don't want to go, because I'm trying to figure out, again, what the purpose of the leg belt is on this character. I mean, what is the purpose of the leg belt on a gamma-powered character? I mean, the whole suit makes absolutely no sense from a creative standpoint, and it just and the weave. I'm looking like you got a blonde weave, red skin. I mean, I don't know where this is going, because we already have a red She-Hulk already, and I don't know what this is. All I know is I don't want to buy it, because it's that bad. Now, if you want to pick up my first comic, which is way better than this crap, Esteem No Good Deed, you can find it on Amazon's Kindle for 99 cents. And it's a much better comic for a fraction of the price of whatever this Winter Hulk is going to be. And if you want to see me make more videos about comics, you can donate to my Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door must take on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess in paperback and e-readers this April.